Hypnosis to Change Your Life with Dr. Steve G. Jones.
Steve, can hypnosis be used to forget a negative experience from the past?
Okay, great question. And the idea is that, really we've all had negative experiences in the past. I mean, things can happen to you, as recently as yesterday or even in the day you're in that you want to put behind you. And a lot of these memories are from childhood, things happen. I remember, for example, I was at a party with my parents, and I must have been about 3 or 4 years old, and I wanted a chip from a bag of chips. So I walked up to the bag of chips, and I reached for it, and some lady said to me, "Your parents didn't say that you could have that." She started yelling at me, and I thought for no apparent reason. Who knows? Maybe I'd done something that I forgot about. But that's not really a traumatic experience for me, but it does stick out in my mind, and I think about it every now and then. So if that had been a few levels up, for example, if she had stood up and started hitting me, for example, or if she had started using negative words about me, saying, "You no good, blah, blah, blah," then it would be at the level where it's not just something that shows up on the radar of my life. It would be at the level where it's probably doing some damage in the present day. It's probably knocking me down a little bit in the present day, and I want to address it. And so when you get into these types of situations, you have to realize that a lot of times they're of a different nature. A lot of times they're of a sexual nature. A lot of times they're of the nature of some sort of sexual abuse from the past. A family member, for example. Something has happened to someone in the past and they want to forget it. The other category of this is sometimes it's someone wanting to remember something. They suspect that someone did something and they want to remember it. These things are generally outside of the realm of hypnotherapy. These are normally relegated to the world of licensed professionals, such as a psychologist or a psychiatrist. These are things that normally you would refer out. The reason is when you start going back into the past and start looking at things, even with the intention of having them forget it, you can uncover it, they can start to relive it, they can start to remember things, they can file a legal action against this family member, they can start attacking this family member physically and verbally, they can ostracize this family member. Next thing you know, the family member is at your door wondering what you did to that person, why you caused this. So you get into a lot of issues that a psychologist is prepared to deal with and a hypnotherapist is not. This is something that a psychologist has a protocol for. Hypnotherapists do not. They should not be dabbling with past memories of that nature. However, you can help someone under a psychologist or psychiatrist direction with written legal permission. Legal permission meaning they wrote it, they signed it, and you put it in their file, and they said specifically that client. You can start to work with them in the way that the psychologist or psychiatrist said, and you can help them either remember it or forget it. To help someone forget something, you normally would not cause them to actually forget it. Now remember, the subconscious mind is sort of like a boss in an office with a secretary who's retrieving files for the boss. The boss wants to remember a 5th grade birthday party. The secretary gets the file, brings it to the boss. The boss is the conscious mind. The secretary is the access between the subconscious mind, which is the file cabinet, and the boss, which is the conscious mind. You cannot, you will not, I shouldn't say you cannot, because there probably is a way, not that I know of though, to erase that memory. Unless you're in movie land, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, then you can do it physically. But until we have that technology, it doesn't happen. What you will do, however, is to scramble the secretary's ability to retrieve that file for the conscious mind. And so that can be done easily with hypnosis.
Is it effective? Have
Yes.
you found it to be effective?
Oh, absolutely. It's very effective. And what normally happens is whereas a memory would have otherwise been clear and would have been affecting the person, it's now unclear and not affecting the person. Another way to do it is to have them remembered on a movie screen and to add funny things to it, add cartoon characters, spray paint the screen, draw silly faces on people. Although that sounds funny and borderline ridiculous, it actually helps to re-encode the memory. Our memories are never an exact recollection of what happened. We are not video cameras. Our memories are tainted by our emotions and by our physically deteriorating bodies, which are housing this information. Our cells are over time deteriorating. This information is not, and they're altering, and this information is not being passed on to the next cells in its pure form, because it's tainted by emotions, and it's tainted by the fact that we are organic. So you've got a lot going for you when it comes to altering memories already. The fact that memories are never memories. They're never an account of exactly what happened. Even your memory of yesterday is not an objective account of what happened. It's your perception tainted by your emotions and your point of view of something that actually did happen. So it's easy to further alter it.
That's interesting.
Hypnosis to change your life with Dr. Steve G. Jones.